This is Markin Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Follow on Twitter. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Marking Out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. Brennan likes fisting. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. We marking out, y'all. We're marking out. Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans.
Welcome to Markin Out, Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling fans. This is episode 802. Hey, thanks for listening. This is the only Markin Out podcast that you should be subscribed to over on Spotify or wherever else you are listening to your podcast. Make sure that you give us a 5-star rating to go with that 5-star frog splash. Buy a t-shirt, prowrestlingtees.com/markinout. Give us a like on Facebook. Give us a follow on TikTok at Markinout, Twitter at Markinout, Instagram at Markinout11. And also, make sure that you're following me, Dave the Rave, at DavidPTDPT. Follow Chris at CMSweeney85 on Instagram and Chris Sweendog on Twitter. And follow Brandon at BTTG161. Brandon, how are you?
I am doing awesome as always. How about yourself?
I am doing fantastic. I mean,
you had quite the weekend.
Yeah, quite the weekend. Actually, went into New York City.
You live in New York City. You can't just say I went into New York City.
I mean, I live in Queens, technically.
That's literally New York City.
It's not the city.
That's not what you said. That's not what you said. You said I went into New York City. That's you live there.
Nah.
I went into Manhattan. I went into the city.
New York City is the city. It's not Queens. It's not where I'm at. If you go into Queens, you go into Queens. You don't go into... when you go into the city, when you say the city, you know where you're going.
It's New York City. You didn't say the city. You said New York City.
If you
said the city, I would not have said anything.
Even New York City. But regardless, went in for a bat mitzvah that took place, and it was incredible. Friday and Saturday. Friday got to go to Pete's Tavern, which was actually really, really cool. I didn't get a chance to look up the history of Pete's Tavern. I'm going to have to, though.
It's quite old.
Very cool. Yeah, quite old. A lot of memorabilia and stories about Abraham Lincoln and stuff like that. The food there was really good. And then for the party, so it was Saturday, and the Knicks had Game 5 Saturday night. So the party and that Game 5 overlapped. So they actually did have 2 TV screens showing the game while at the party. And that was just a lot of fun, very enjoyable to be surrounded by family taking in the game. And then by the time the party ended around like 10:15.
I was about to say, what?
Yeah, right? No, and then probably the end of the third, around there, fourth quarter. So by the time me and my family get into the Uber, it's already the fourth quarter and time's ticking down. So we were streaming it on Yahoo, following the play-by-play, but then I realized that I could just stream it on my phone and watch it from my
access.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not used to having access like that. But then it was reminded to me, I'm like, oh, I could pull up the Spectrum app and just watch it there. So did that and watched the game. And it was so wild just driving down the streets in the Uber. I thought that we were going to be stuck in the Uber for a long time.
Wait, you watched it on a Spectrum app instead of ESPN?
Yeah. Yep. Watched it on Spectrum.
I didn't realize that could be done.
The Spectrum app, it has the entire TV guide. I could watch any TV channel.
Wow.
Yeah, so I pulled it up on that TV channel guide. I watched it on there. It was just crazy. Driving in the Uber, like, I rolled down the windows and you just look to the sides of you, and it was just so cool to see like crowds hanging outside of the bar just watching everybody fixated on the TVs, and then driving by like basketball courts in the city, driving by basketball courts and people having it projected on actually like the wall of the building and like playing basketball or watching it, holding their basketballs and stuff like that. And then by the time we got closer to the hotel, we were stuck for, I would say, probably 10 minutes in an area. And for a moment, I thought that we were going to watch the finale like right there. But because there was starting to be a lot of people in the streets. But then we were only like a block up or two from the hotel. So we finally broke through when we got there. And by the time we got out of the cab, there was probably like 2 minutes left. So we were going to walk down to one of the local pubs, but decided to stay where we were at. And we watched the game from like legit on the street of New York City. We were watching the finale of it all. I then walked down to the corner of the street to see everybody like sprinting down, and it was starting to get a little bit hectic. Wow. So that's where I went back into the hotel and called it. But yeah, the New York Knicks are your NBA champions. Wow. 2026.
We'll put a pin in.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in that, but yeah. How about your week?
Nothing. Pro wrestling.
Talking about pro wrestling. What
kicked
about that
off,
Monday Night Raw?
Kicked off with the Bloodline. Roman Reigns said that Jey Uso is going to win the King of the Ring and had people acknowledge Jey Uso. I don't know if he's ever done that before. I couldn't think of a moment when that lined up, but he also put Jimmy over, and then Jey yelled at Jacob Fatu and said that he needs to acknowledge them, and he said the only person he needs to acknowledge is the OTC, and Roman Reigns said good to Jacob Fatu, I guess maybe for standing his ground and also acknowledging him. But he then delivered an Ulafala to Jacob Fatu, I guess to officially welcome him into this version of the Bloodline. And on their way out of the segment, Eric Andre was ringside. He's got a big movie coming out with John Cena. I'm sure I'll watch that next week or so. And he shook Roman's hand. They're about to be in, Mortal Kombat together? Is that the film?
You're such a troll.
It's not Mortal Kombat? It's Street Fighter?
Street Fighter.
So they're in Street Fighter together. I've never played either of them, so I get those two mixed up. So they're in that.
Kind of like how you mix up Star Wars and Star Trek, right?
No, that I know the difference between that.
Oh, okay.
Star Wars is long live and eat prosper or something like that.
So close. So close.
But, yeah, so Roman shook his hand. Jey Uso completely ignored him. Jimmy shook his hand. And then Eric Andre, for whatever reason, puts his hands on the Ulafala. And Jacob Fatu attacks him, brings him down to the ringside area. Roman stops him from doing anything further right before Jacob Fatu could splash him, and then gave the go-ahead orders to splash him. And then he had Jacob Fatu do it again. I was not expecting any of that. I mean, like, people have been complaining about that Bloodline stuff. I thought that segment was decent.
I liked it. You know, I was a big fan of it. I liked this stuff with Eric Andre. I wasn't expecting all of that. And I liked the fact that I thought it was very interesting that Roman Reigns gave him the cue to, like, do it again.
Yeah.
And attack him. And I wasn't expecting him to do that. Like, I thought that it was going to be done. But then Roman Reigns told him, like, do it again. I was like, wow, okay. But which, it makes me even more...
The Bloodline, you can't, like... They're getting
Thank
cheered.
You. Yes, I was about to say this.
They're not heels. Like, it makes no sense.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to go into, is I don't understand how these people are faces. They just attacked Eric Andre. But, like, this is why everything with... We'll get onto LA Knight, because this entire, like, everything doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, later on in the night, LA Knight came out and he addressed what happened on SmackDown. And Jimmy came out and he mentioned a one-on-one match with no interference. And then Jay came out and said Solo was on his own. It had nothing to do with the bloodline. And then it basically it came to blows, and Jimmy didn't want to do what he did to LA Knight, but LA Knight attacked Jay, so Jimmy's obviously going to follow. And then LA Knight got the upper hand for a little bit, and Jacob Fatu ran out, locked him in that Tongan death grip. Screams babyface, right?
Yeah, very, very big baby face. It doesn't make any sense to me, and this is why it's so hard for me to just watch Monday Night Raw.
Maybe
right
that's
now
why people aren't connecting with the bloodline, because they're forcing heelish, but they're also people are cheering. I have no idea.
That's the thing. I don't know. I'm over the bloodline stuff right now because I just don't know what to do with it. Like, I feel confused. Very confused. But something I'm not confused about is Io Sky picked up the victory over Raquel Rodriguez to advance in the Queen of the Ring tournament. I kind of wanted Raquel to advance.
I definitely didn't think anything of that sort was going to happen. I didn't want that to happen.
I didn't think it was going to happen, but
I didn't want that to happen. And I thought for what they did in this match, for what it was, I thought it was good. I would have liked more from it. I would have liked longer, more in-depth match here between the two of them. I liked when Io went up to the barricade to have she had the fans help her up there for the table spot. Mm-hmm. And then when Io hit the over the moonsault, due to the camera angle, I thought Raquel was about to move and reverse it. Because normally when we see a camera angle like that, I feel like it's like leading to a reversal. But she hit it and got the victory off of that.
Yeah, I'm really happy that she was able to pick the victory.
And like I said to begin with, I feel like Io is the person that's going to be winning this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go on Io versus Rhea or something like that. Maybe.
Yeah, could be. But next up, you had Chad Gable pick up the victory over Rusev. Chad Gable tour continues.
I mean, beforehand, he saw Maxine talking to Austin Theory. He didn't say anything to her. So there wasn't any sort of an apology there. He got a brand new theme song. The internet seems to be split over it. I feel like it reminds me of the Danger Zone, the Kenny Loggins song.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what they were going for, but like it kind of sounds like Uber, like American, like that. And people are like, this just sounds like Nickelback. What is this song?
I mean, Nickelback is Canadian.
I like Nickelback too. Yeah.
Yeah,
and I thought the theme
Nickelback.
song was nice. I'll have to listen to it more to get more of an opinion on it. But it was nice to see Chad Gable back. Rusev got out of that ankle lock and tried for the accolade. I almost said acolyte. But Rusev held on to Chaos Theory, and he got locked in the ankle lock again. Ethan Page tried to help Rusev here. He ends up in the ring. Rusev hits the Machka kick on Gable. Locks in the accolade, which Chad Gable kind of got out of, and then he hits an angle slam, and then locks Rusev back in that ankle lock and gets the victory.
Yeah.
And then immediately after, Ethan Page attacked Chad Gable. Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee ran out to make the save. Repaying
the
Chad
support
Gable.
for the support for Chad Gable coming in. I mean, we'll see how that all plays out. Next up, you had Charlotte Flair pick up the victory over Roxanne Perez. Confusion? Why now?
I didn't get why this was happening on Monday Night Raw.
Why now?
Roxanne, though, worked on Charlotte's arm throughout the match. And in a perfect world, it would have been Roxanne Perez winning this. But this was obviously just Charlotte had to look like she could beat Liv Morgan in the Queen of the Ring. So, obviously, I'll talk more about that later. Alexa Bliss got taken out during this match.
Mm-hmm.
From Liv Morgan. Like I said, man, overall, I didn't. I understand that they needed Charlotte to look like she could beat them or whatever, but it didn't make sense.
Yeah, I agree with you. It really didn't make sense, and I don't know. I feel like Monday Night Raw was very underwhelming for me. I feel like a lot of
it was very, very, very segment heavy, and it kind of sucked. And I don't know if that was like a thing that they should have done with all the segments and stuff. It seemed like Raw has been on such a hot streak lately. And I've seen much worse episodes of Monday Night Raw, but it just wasn't great. It wasn't good. And it was segment heavy. You had Javon Evans do a segment. Logan Paul returns. Why?
I don't know. Everything with Monday Night Raw was very confusing to me, and because of the confusion, it left it underwhelming and didn't care. And I'll be honest, the most exciting thing for me with Monday Night Raw was Logan Paul coming out, which
he tried to get Javon to join the Vision. Javon turned it down, and then Logan Paul said that he's in the Vision, which it wasn't an option. It wasn't a question like, oh, would you like to join? You're in. And then Javon took his pants off. He had his tights on, ready for a match, and it sets it up where Javon picks up the victory over Austin Theory via disqualification. And it's just like, to me, this was like a copy and paste of that Charlotte match, just to make it look like Javon could win the King of the Ring tournament. But Braun Breaker showed up, and he speared Javon mid-move, which I thought was a cool spot. But you had Montez, Ford, Angelo Dawkins show up. They brawl with the Vision. It kind of seemed like a pointless... Again, the end game there was like I said with Flair, to make it look like they could do something in the tournament, but...
Yeah, I don't know.
Earlier in the night...
I agree with you.
We had Liv Morgan backstage trying to get Danhausen to curse Obafemi. She ends up walking off after hearing his demands. And then in an unaired segment, they put it out the next day on Twitter. Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough tried to pay Danhausen to curse Obafemi. And they end up, I think it was like $100,000. He ends up taking the money and he's like, you want me to curse Obafemi? Do you not know who Obafemi is? And he refused to curse Oba. He still took the money, which I thought was a funny segment.
Yeah, that was funny.
And then we get to the main event of Monday Night Raw, where Obafemi picks up the victory over Dominic Mysterio to advance in the King of the Ring. We had JD McDonough get involved to distract Obafemi in this. He ends up running off. Dom... It was like, even this match, it wasn't like, I don't know. I don't know what more you could have done with it. He put a hammer in his boot. JD came back out. He gets knocked down. Dom low-blowed Obafemi with the referee distracted. He hit 2 619s with the hammer in his boot. He hit the frog splash. Obafemi kicks out at 1. So I'm happy to have seen that, at least. And then Dom tried to use the actual hammer, and JD got in the ring. Oba hits a chokeslam on both of them. A bunch of running uppercuts, to the point where, at that point, it's literally a handicap match. And he hits the fall from grace and gets the victory there. And then this episode was so goofy that Obafemi speaks after his match about Brock Lesnar and being like, oh, I'm surprised you didn't take the opportunity to cost me this King of the Ring match. And it just sort of ends where it had me thinking in my head, where are we about to cut to a Roman Reigns segment now?
Mm-hmm.
I thought all of this was like so out of place.
Yeah, I agree.
So that is
agree with you.
Monday Night Raw. Moving over to NXT, which opened up with Zarya. And she said that she feels like she spent so much time in Sol Ruka's shadow. And she said whenever somebody spoke about the future of women's wrestling, it was always this person, that person, this person, that person. They never listed her. And I like that she yelled at the fans. The fans were cheering her, like, you deserve it, etc. But she yelled at the fans for I guess not really supporting her then. And Kalani Jordan came out to give Zarya advice, and she told her to enjoy all of it now because it's never going to be good enough for the fans. And then Kendall Gray came out and said that she's going to the Great American Bash, and Kalani Jordan's going to be watching her beat Lola Vice. And then Lola Vice came out. They all argued. Mr. Stone came out, and Lola Vice was like, I already know what's going to happen. You're going to set up a tag team match, and we're going to have that tag team match. And I'll put a pin in that tag team match. Because it was the main event.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
next up, you had Tavion Heights pick the victory over Jackson Drake to become the number one contender. I'm happy that Heights picked up the victory. I think that he needs this. Right
I based on everything that's been going on with Tavion Heights lately, I thought for sure Jackson Drake was winning this match. So that very much so surprised me to see Tavion Heights win. I thought they had really good back and forth in this match. The Vanity Project got involved. Miles Bourne helped out Tavion Heights. So I assume we're going to see like a friendly match between the two of them and then a heel turn from Tavion Heights after he loses.
Mm-hmm.
Not 100% sure on that, though. But that's where it seems like it could lead to.
It could. Next up, Izzy Dame picked up the victory over Thea Hale to advance.
God bless Thea Hale. She tried to shotgun an energy drink beforehand. It just didn't work.
She tried.
But in the end, though, she missed the springboard senton. She ate a running knee from Izzy Dame. And then later on in the speed tournament match as well, we had Ariana Grace pick up the victory over Layla Diggs to advance in that. I think Diggs is going to be a huge star. Like, the way she moves in the ring and what she does already, I think is just like... I almost feel like she's in the wrong company.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, not in the wrong company at the same time. I feel like she's doing stuff that nobody else is doing right now. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what she does. And I thought this was a good match for Ariana Grace as well. But Stax got involved. Layla Diggs took out Birthright with the moonsault. Only 30 seconds left in the match instead of focusing on Ariana Grace. And when she got back in, Ariana Grace was playing possum. She got back in the ring. Ariana Grace rolled her right into a pin and got the victory there. So, she obviously... I didn't think that Layla was going to advance there, but like I said, I'm very much so looking forward to seeing what happens with her in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
We had a face-to-face segment with Tony D'Angelo, the champion, and Naraku. And Tony said that he knows Naraku didn't win all his championships on his own, and he led a group that helped him do it. So I liked that little tease of the House of Torture. But Tony signed the contract and left, and Naraku said that he'll sign the contract and give it to him next week, and said that Evil is coming. Perhaps at Great American Bash, we're going to see Takahashi show up. I mean, he's rumored to be coming.
What happens if he comes?
What?
What? No, I was going to say, what happens if he has another persona that's evil?
No, he's not going to be two different people.
Huh?
I said he's not going to be two different people.
Well, I mean, kind of like how I was going to say Devitt. Balor has two characters.
I would hate that.
Why would he say his former name though? Evil, unless that's going to be maybe a name group.
I mean, that's possible, but I don't think. I mean, they've been saying Evil this whole time.
True.
So,
That's true.
and also Takahashi wasn't part of House of Torture. Los Ingobernables de NXT, though. It's possible.
Hey, maybe.
After that, we had Natty pick up the victory over Jada Parker. Started off kind of slow. Definitely heated up. The fans, I thought, were very much so into this match. And I think Natty is so good. And I really liked what they did in this match. Obviously, the other week, you had Jada Parker. It's been building for quite some time now. And Jada Parker, she basically gets taught a lesson here. Natty kicked out of the Hypnotic. Eventually, Jada Parker hit another Hypnotic, and Natty went flying out of the ring. And she ends up hitting that discus clothesline. She hits the sharpshooter. And then Nikita Lyons and Carmen Petrovich came out to celebrate with Natty. So it seems like we're getting some sort of new group there between the three of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that should be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Next up, you had Lola Vice and Kendall Gray pick the victory over Kalani Jordan and Zarya.
Great main event.
I agree. They did a great job in this main event.
Lola Vice had Zarya locked in a chokehold at one point, and Kalani went to break it up. Kendall locked her in the ankle lock. They both end up getting out of the submissions. They all fought outside the ring. Tatum Paxley popped up, and that distracted Zarya, where she ends up eating the back fist from Lola Vice to Vice get the victory there. And then it ends. Tatum Paxley attacks Zarya, and they brawled. And then Kalani took the title from Lola Vice. Kendall tried to take it back. Obviously, inadvertently smacks Lola Vice in the face with it. A little tug of war there.
And Lola Vice, fresh off of the Puerto Rican parade, her and Damian Priest showing up there.
Yeah. But that's obviously going to cause tension between Lola Vice and Kendall Gray. I believe there's a contract signing for the match at Great American Bash for next week.
Yeah, we'll see how that turns out.
But that is NXT. Moving over to SmackDown. It opened up with Cody Rhodes picking up the victory over Gunther to retain the WWE Championship. You had Sami Zayn as the guest referee, calling it down the middle for the most part. Kind of worked on in Gunther's favor a few times. They did the spot where Gunther's foot was under the rope, and Sami Zayn caught it. I like that little callback to their match, their previous match. Cody gets in Sami's face. Sami pushes him, went right into Gunther's sleeper. And then Sami did the same thing to Gunther. Gunther ends up powerbombing Sami Zayn. Another referee came out, and Sami Zayn stopped him from making the full 3 count. Eventually did a fast count for Cody Rhodes. And then Gunther argued with Nick Aldis. Cody calls for a real referee and for the match to be restarted. And then Gunther attacks Sami Zayn. You go back to the match. Gunther picks up the victory over Cody Rhodes via disqualification. So Cody Rhodes retains the WWE Championship. They traded off a bunch of sleepers. And Sami Zayn ultimately shows up, hits Gunther with the haluva kick. And then Sami attacked the referee. He clocked Cody Rhodes with the WWE Championship. Probably, I'm almost assuming I assume he thought it was Gunther. And then Gunther demanded another title shot at Night of Champions. Cody Rhodes told Nick Aldis it should be a triple threat, and Nick Aldis made that a match. Jacob Fatu was there to make sure nobody got involved in Jey Uso's match. And he also told Solo that he's running out of time to make the right decision. And Tama Tonga told Solo Sikoa to stay in the back for their tag team title match. You go to that match, the Judgment Day pick up the victory over the MFT to retain. You had the MFT cheat behind the referee's back, but eventually Solo Sikoa showed up, and that distracted the MFT. Damian Priest took Solo Sikoa out. R-Truth rolled Tama Tonga up. And then the MFT were annoyed, and they left Solo by himself. And then I liked later on the segment that we had with the Judgment Day, R-Truth, Damian Priest, and Finn Balor. We had Ricky Saints pick up the victory over Carmelo Hayes to become number one contender. They had some really good back and forth in this match and some really nice counters. That turnbuckle pad spot, the pad came off. Ricky Saints ended up crotching Mello on it, but he hit the first 48. Ricky Saints, though, pushed Carmelo Hayes into it. So he hits his head on the turnbuckle. Saints gets the victory off of that. Backstage, you had Danhausen trying to fix Miz and Kit Wilson. Los Garza was pissed off at Danhausen for taking their money the other week and not cursing the Knicks. Then Matt Cardona showed up to try and ultimately he makes a save from anything from preventing anything from happening. And then he got shocked and he said woo 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 and answered Danhausen, you know it. So I thought that was pretty funny. But maybe this is our tag team match at Saturday night's main event. Maybe this is our big Danhausen spotlight. Maybe Matt Cardona rocks some New York Knicks gear. We'll see. Yeah, Jey Uso advanced to the finals of the King of the Ring over Javon Evans. I think in a perfect world, Javon would have moved on, but I 100% understand Jey moving on. Javon controlled a lot of this match, but eventually Jey took advantage of the hurt ribs from Braun Breaker. And, I mean, Javon, he was still in it. I don't want to say barely, but like he kicked out of a spear. He fired himself up, but eventually Jey Uso hit another spear. He hit the Uso splash, got the victory, and then picked Javon Evans up to show him respect afterwards. And then we had that segment where Sami Zayn congratulated Jey Uso, and he said that he thinks he'll go on to win the King of the Ring, but it won't be him facing Cody at SummerSlam. He thinks it'll be him. So I still fully think it's Obafemi winning that King of the Ring, but we'll see. And in the main event, we had Charlotte Flair, Liv Morgan for that final spot in that Queen of the Ring. And Liv Morgan picked up the victory. Yet Jade Cargill, Mia Yim, and B-Fab attacked Charlotte beforehand. Nick Aldis tried to talk Charlotte to not go ahead with the match. And she went to the ring. Liv Morgan kicked out Flair's knee before the match. Worked it very much so throughout the match. But Charlotte was still in it. I feel like it was kind of similar to Javon and Jey Uso. But I liked seeing what Charlotte was able to do with one leg. And they made her look super strong in this match. Parts of me were like, I don't know if Liv Morgan is advancing here. That's what I'm hoping she's advancing. But she kicks out of the Oblivion. And Liv Morgan went right back into that half crab, and Charlotte tapped out. What happens next with Charlotte? I mean, for a hot second in that match, I thought she was about to even like attack Alexa Bliss to be like, get out of my face, I'm doing this. I thought this was a good main event. So that is SmackDown. I'm going to take a quick little break, and I'll be right back here on Markin Out.
Hello, this is Danhausen with a message from Chris Hausen to Brandon Hausen. Yes, Brandon of the Markin Out podcast. Danhausen has one thing to say to you. Take a guess. That's right. Up yours, Brandon Hausen. Love that Danhausen. You must tell them all to love that Danhausen.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Markin Out episode 802. Moving back to AAA from last week, it opened with Galeno picking up the victory over Gallio and Golden Jacket. This is exactly what you could have expected this to have been. It showed off Galeno's strength, and he completely dominated the whole match. And then later on, they had Omos pick up the victory over Chris Carter, Kingu, and Daimo, which this was basically I don't want to say the exact same thing as Galeno's match, but it's basically anything you can do, I can do better. Hence 3-on-1 versus 2-on-1. You had El Fiscal, La Parca, and Octagon Jr. pick up the victory over Los Vipers. This reignited the feud between El Fiscal and Los Vipers. I think it was definitely weird seeing Octagon here again. I mean, he got injured in the match last week, but I thought this was a very well done trios match. La Parka was over big time here, and Abismo Negro had a lot of good heat here. He tagged in Hysteria when Fiscal obviously wants to fight him. So I thought that was good. And then Fiscal and Abismo Negro ends up brawling to the back. And then Octagon Jr. hit the moonsault fall-away slam from the top rope, got the victory for the team. The main event saw Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana pick up the victory over La Hiedra and Joaquin Wilde to retain the championships. I thought this was very entertaining. I think all four of them worked very well in this match. I liked when La Hiedra kicked Mr. Iguana on the apron. Then Lola Vice kicked Joaquin Wilde. And I liked also Mr. Iguana doing Lola Vice's taunt before the corner move that they did. Afterwards, La Hiedra ends up attacking Mr. Iguana by mistake. Lola Vice took Joaquin Wilde out. And then Las Toxicas showed up. They beat down Lola Vice. And Bailey and La Catalina made the save. So I thought that was a good ending to AAA. Moving over to TNA Impact, we found out Tommy Dreamer, Sami Callihan, Tessa Blanchard are no longer with TNA. I don't know where that will lead with Tommy Dreamer and Sami Callihan being gone from the company, but we'll see. It opened with Xia Brookside, and she said that the Angel Warriors was supposed to be a way for her to become a star, but ultimately it ended up just always being about Lei Ying Lee. And she said that she's taken the championship from her at Slammiversary. Lei Ying Lee showed up and said that she's treated Xia Brookside like a sister. But now she sees that she's a snake, and it led to a brawl. Security got taken down, and Xia Brookside ended up escaping. First match saw Mike Santana, Nick Nemeth, and Casey Navarro pick up the victory over Order 4. For this, as per Daria Ray, Mike Santana and Nick Nemeth were not allowed to fight during the match. I don't get why this wasn't the main event. Casey Navarro spent the match making sure Nick Nemeth and Mike Santana worked as a team. They end up pinning at the exact same time. Obviously, it wasn't like a double pin or anything, but after the match, Ryan Nemeth ends up attacking Mike Santana. Santana ends up accidentally clocking Casey Navarro. And then Nick dropped Mike Santana with a super kick. I'll put a pin in that. We had the King's Speech where Frankie Kazarian had Leon Slater and Cedric Alexander on. He asked Leon Slater how it felt to come up short on making history. And Cedric Alexander laughed about it. He was like very in your face to Leon Slater. And Slater, he was quite humble about the loss. Eventually, though, Cedric pushed him too far, and Leon Slater ends up pushing Cedric Alexander. And Frankie Kazarian broke it up before anything could happen, and he announced that Daria Ray added him to the Ultimate X match at Slammiversary. For the first time in 15 years, I believe it was. And then later on, the personal concierge got Mr. Elegance in the match. And Fabian Eichner spoke to Santino. He got in the match. And then Nick Nemeth got Casey Navarro a spot in the match. So it seems like that's about to be it. They actually, on this episode of Impact, they didn't even mention Amazing Red. They announced him for Slammiversary. Maybe he'll be answering the open challenge for Mustafa Ali. I don't know. But it's cool that Amazing Red is going to be doing stuff with TNA again. You had Ricky Sosa pick up the victory over Dak Draper. Eric Young was on commentary. This match, to me, made absolutely no sense. And no offense to Draper, but I don't think he should have had the offense he did against Sosa here. And it seemed more like a showcase of him than Sosa. It made no sense at all. You had Indy Hartwell pick up the victory over Elena Black. Mara Sade did commentary. Honestly, I think that took away from the match because they weren't talking about the match. They were talking about the Undead Realm. I enjoyed the match. The Elegance brand came out, which distracted Indy Hartwell. And then it distracted Elena Black as well. And Mara Sade attacked Ash by Elegance. She got put down. And then Indy Hartwell ends the match with a backslide pin. The four of them fought. Ash escaped. I don't know if that's going to lead to a tag team match or what, but we'll see. And then the main event saw the System pick up the victory over the Hardys and the Moose. Not the Moose, just Moose. But we got to see Broken Moose, kind of, in this match. Maybe this was the main event because the Hardys were here. I don't think this should have main evented over that opening match. Eventually it broke down into the move stuff. The Righteous showed up with a ladder. That distracted the Hardys for a bit. Alicia Edwards got involved, and that distracted Moose. And Eddie Edwards, off of that, was able to get the Boston Knee Party to get the victory. And then to close out Impact, Mike Santana came out, and he called Nick Nemeth out. And then Ryan showed up instead, and he said Nick's going to be the next champion. And then Nick showed up and said that Mike Santana's on borrowed time. And he's taking that title at Slammiversary. None of this was necessary. Why not open with this? Have it lead to a match. Have the match get set up for the main event or something. And then you could have even ended this with a brawl. I didn't get it at all. But that is TNA Impact. Hey, Brennan, got any shout-outs?
Hello there, this is Elmo, and you're listening to Brendan's Shoutouts.
BB Rexha's new album, Dirty Blonde, came out last week. It's her first album as an independent artist. It is a dance album, but there's like subtle inclusions of folk. There's like hip-hop. It's also a visual album, so there's videos that accompany every track. You haven't listened to this at all, right?
No. I saw her get into a fist fight with somebody, though.
No, that was not BB Rexa.
Oh.
I saw the person post that. That was not BB Rexa. It was a fake tweet.
Ah, lovely.
I will say, The Way I Want You is my favorite track from this album. But I like when she releases acoustic versions of her music. So I hope that we get that for this album eventually as well. But her vocals, I think, are absolutely incredible. Not just this album. I think, like, in general. I also believe that her other albums deserve so much better. And it's unfortunate they weren't pushed by her label.
Why?
And it's like ridiculous how you don't, like, you get behind an artist just like so much and you just don't care enough. And it's crazy that her last album had Snoop Dogg and Dolly Parton on it. And I
feel like she could be so much more than what she really is.
100%. 100%. And I don't understand how you have a talent like BB Rexa. I mean, she's written so many hits that the label just didn't care. It was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still annoyed that I couldn't get free tickets to that show on Monday, that people were selling those tickets. It made no sense. That was garbage. So go listen to Dirty Blonde. Everything on the Menu with Braun Strowman is back for Season 2 on the USA Network. I think it's a great show. In Season 1, he was still with WWE, so he was going around places in cities that WWE was running. But now he's going to different cities, meeting up with famous people for some of the restaurants. Mark Henry's on the first episode. Burt Kreischer's on episode 2. You have T.I. and Killer Mike on this week. Ron Funches, Sal Vulcano. They're going to be on it. Mike Piazza's going to be on next week's episode. And we also have the Team Little Big reunion between him and Alexa Bliss that'll be happening on this show. The food looks good. I think Braun Strowman is a great host here, and it's fun to watch. He also did a mini episode with the New York Yankees on their YouTube for the food at Yankee Stadium.
That one I definitely want to watch at.
Yeah, I would 100% recommend that on YouTube. It's on the Yankees YouTube channel. I would 100% recommend this show on USA Network. It airs after SmackDown. I thought when this show came back, we were going to get the SmackDown back to 10 p.m., but it's back at 10 p.m. on, I think, the first episode of July.
And aren't they reducing it back to 2 hours?
I literally just said that.
Oh.
The final shout-out goes to Olivia Rodrigo's new album, You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love, which I think is way too long of a title for an album. But I think the album is very solid. I don't think it's better than Guts and Sour. A lot of people are like arguing that this is like her greatest album. I don't think it's the greatest, but I think it's a very solid album. I think Stupid Song is my favorite track from this because it incorporates the same chord progressions that Canon in D major has, which in turn it makes it sound like the Christmas Canon song from Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I don't know if that's what she was going for or not, but that's what it reminds me of. Also, what's the track? I think it's called Honeybee. I think that's a very good track as well. But I didn't realize she was selling signed albums. I got a signed BB Rexa album, I'll say that. I didn't realize Olivia Rodrigo was also going to be selling signed albums. I went to investigate that to see if there were any left. And I came across a website that it was like an almost identical layout to her website. And almost freaking bought it. And I was like, this, I'm going to hold off right now. This seems too good to be true. Because it was like $5 with free shipping. And I thought like maybe she was doing that as a way to like to sell more product. But I Googled her actual website. And it was a shoot scam site. I was like, thank God I didn't. And I immediately I hit up her team. I'm like, I don't know if you guys know about this or not, but this is like an almost identical website to Olivia Rodrigo selling this merchandise. And like, oh, well, we can't confirm. Blah, blah. I'm like, what do you mean you can't confirm? It's an almost identical website. Yeah. It's obviously people are
like you're
trying
just
to
giving
scam.
them a heads up.
And then they said that they're going to work on getting it taken down. But last I checked, it was still up. So if you're in the market for that, just be very, very careful. They're not selling this album for $5 signed.
Well, also, I don't know if I would spend any money for those signatures. Did you see everything?
Yeah, man.
The signatures.
So some of them, some of them look like I don't know.
Trash, and some of them not.
Some of them I can't freaking believe.
Most of them look like trash.
Are legit. Like some people are they're showing off their pictures. It's like a shoot like straight line. And I'm like, this can't be real. It can't be real.
I saw that. Like that's insane.
I can't believe those to be real. I feel like those are being manipulated. But then there are other ones where it's like you could clearly see it's an O, but it doesn't look like the OR signature that she uses. Some of them she's tried more than others. She's doodled on some of the albums, which I think is a nice touch.
Yeah, some of them are just like I feel like I don't know. It's so awful. Like some of these signatures that people are doing on these album covers and stuff. It's just in general.
By the way, it's really funny though because when they first started popping up online, people were like, "Oh, this sucks. These are auto pen." And then more and more started popping up, and they're like, well, this is too different to be auto pen. Yeah. And then more and more started coming out, and they're like, what the gosh darn heck is this?
Yeah, some of them are just like just let me get done with this, so this way I could do whatever else I want to do.
I don't think
like there's no effort or care into them.
I don't think they realize how much effort has to go into these. And good on, I mean, people are complaining, and they're getting their money back, which I think...
That's
rightfully
good.
So.
Of course. I think that if anybody is not satisfied with the autograph that they are being sold, especially if on the website they show a picture of an autograph and it doesn't look to that caliber.
Well, yeah, to an
extent. To an extent, but if they're advertising Olivia Rodrigo's autograph on their website on an album and stuff like that, and they show her autograph, it should at least resemble something to that. It shouldn't be what it seems like it is, But like you said, a lot of people, it's a lot of effort. I mean, we've seen John Cena and all these WWE wrestlers sign millions and like thousands and thousands of autographs at these before Monday Night Raw and stuff like that, and you see John Cena I
was talking to somebody about this situation. I was like, everybody who's going to get into the business of autographs should look at a video of John Cena signing his autograph.
But the thing is that it's just really loop swoop, loop swoop, loop
Yeah.
swoop, and I don't even like
his
John.
Is very easy because it's ultimately just a JC, so it's literally just that loop swoop, like you said, but.
And that's the thing that I hate about it too, is that it's just
I get it. Yeah, I know.
For me personally, I want John Cena. You have one that actually does say John Cena, right?
Yeah.
Or close to it.
I have two different iterations of his autograph. I don't have.
That's the thing. I mean,
I don't think I have his newest one.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, I would say there are 3 solid iterations of John Cena's autograph from his different. 2002 is obviously you're getting a more of a John Cena-esque signature. 2003 on, you're getting a different version of what he has now out.
Mm-hmm.
But I get it at the same time. But somebody like Taylor Swift, you're always getting that same Taylor autograph with sometimes you'll get a little heart. BB Rexa, still you get BB and you get maybe a heart, and sometimes some of the
That's
autographs.
the thing. Even Taylor Swift's I don't like.
Why not? I think it just says Taylor.
To me, I can't visually make out the Taylor, and I want to see Swift.
I think you can. I think you can.
I want Swift
Taylor.
on there,
but that's not. She doesn't sign it like that anymore.
That's the thing anymore. But why not? Because of timing.
Because when you get to a certain point in your career,
it's because of time. You don't have enough time to sit there and do it as often. But that's the thing that bothers me. I don't want Taylor's signature. I want Taylor Swift.
But it's still. I think that it's still unique enough that it's not you're not getting RR.
I mean, that's just me and you talk back and forth.
I'm talking about Roman Reigns here. There was that video of Rhea Ripley that said she had to change her autograph because of Roman Reigns. She couldn't just write RR. When she signs Rhea.
Exactly. I mean, me and you go back and forth. Even the SR, Seth Rollins, and then Dean Ambrose, DA. To me, it's so distasteful. But then we were talking about how at, I think, Fanatics Fest or some of the conventions, how you can pay one price tag for...
That was not Fanatics Fest. That was that's the guy from Pokemon. The guy who sings the theme song from Pokemon, Jason Page, who apparently everybody hates. I think is carny.
Yeah, you can pay one price for half-ass
let's say you
signature.
pay $50 for JP or whatever, and then you pay $100 for the full name signature. That is super carny.
That's so awful.
You sang the theme song to Pokemon, brother. Yeah, that is carny as all carny gets.
Yeah, awful, awful, awful. Very carny, but yeah.
Also, I own 3 signed BB Rexa CDs. I think only one of them has a heart on it, so it's disappointing that my other 2 don't. And I also am disappointed that they didn't sell signed CDs for Better Mistakes. I don't know why they didn't do that. But Warner didn't get behind her enough, which is absolute garbage.
Ooh.
Truly absolute garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also another thing. So these 2 albums that I spoke about came out on the same day. BB Rexa announced her album a few months before Olivia Rodrigo's, and it's become like the IWC with these fan bases here, which is insane. If you don't like an artist, just don't listen to them. They're not in your
What's the
space. You don't
IWC
have to
part?
go out of your way to do stuff. Don't go out of your way to try and tank someone else's release because
That's stupid.
they released how dare she release on the same day as Olivia? And then like you negative review bomb her album? Are you dumb? That's psychotic. That's beyond psychotic.
Those people don't go get a job. Like
They might
why
even
are
have
people
jobs. They
able
might
to
be doctors and lawyers doing this.
That's insane. And then they're definitely sickos.
That's what it sounds
Definitely
like.
a
It
bunch of
sounds
sickos.
they literally sound like the IWC and and Taylor Swift did how dare she brother, you don't know what Taylor Swift did with Olivia Rodrigo. You're not in enough to know anything. You're not part of this feud. You're a customer who listens to music.
There's only 2 people that are in on it.
Like, well, probably more than 2, but still, like, you're not one of them. You're not an insider. You have no stakes. If you're a fan of Taylor Swift, listen to Taylor Swift. If you're a fan of Olivia Rodrigo, listen to Olivia Rodrigo. If you like them both, I like them all. I'm not going to put down any artist because because of some feud that may or may not even exist.
Yeah, Brandon's going to catch them all.
It's ridiculous.
Big time.
But yeah, go stream BB Rex's Dirty Blonde. Go stream Olivia Rodrigo's You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love. Those are my shout outs. Now it's time for
Mark Out Moment of the Week.
That is right, our mark out moment of the week, which I completely forgot to announce last week. Not announce. Forgot to say last week. Heidenreich, big mark out moment for last week when he was interviewed by Chris Van Vliet. I thought it was really cool to hear him talk about his career. He seems very humble. So check that interview out with Chris Van Vliet. The biggest thing, though, that we spoke about earlier. The New York Knicks won Game 5 of the NBA Finals after 53 years. Instantly, Danhausen gets championship merchandise. Literally right away. Timothy Chalamet is in the locker room partying with the New York Knicks with a WWE championship on his shoulder.
Ben Stiller, too.
Yeah. You had the Knicks celebrated on the Tonight Show. Jalen Brunson finally acknowledged Danhausen, which I thought was really cool to see. Stephen A. Smith interviewed Danhausen and acknowledged the curse being real. And then I thought it was really funny because he's like praising the curse and then said to Danhausen like, oh, but he's like, oh, you say you're a wrestler, who'd you beat or whatever? And he goes, well, I beat The Miz. And he goes, well, did you cheat? He goes, or what, did you curse him? And he goes, yeah. And he goes, well, you could stop cursing him. I feel like that's cheap or whatever. I'm like, brother, you just praised the curse. You just put it over as the reason why the Knicks, after 53 years, won the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
That was a surreal interview to even see. Very unfortunate
funny,
that Danhausen was not part of the Parade of Champions. But at least somebody in the audience was interviewed. They didn't mention Danhausen, but he was wearing a Danhausen t-shirt. So at least in some sense.
Brother lost his chance at getting some tickets. Just had a name drop.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know why. Danhausen was in New York City. So something obviously happened.
I'm going to say he probably had to travel out for another event.
I'm going to say something happened that we can't talk about.
Maybe.
Because
But no matter what, something to mark out about is that main event in July taking place, July, what is it, 18th?
Saturday night's main event? Yeah, July 18th, Madison Square Garden. Get uncursed.
Danhausen's going to be the prime focus of it.
And the New York Knicks obviously are going to be involved because the color scheme changed from red, white, and blue to blue and orange.
Yeah, we could assume that the Knicks or some may be involved because Fanatics is taking place Fanatics Fest is taking place the course of that few days. So we know that the New York Knicks will
they're
be in town.
They are 100% in town. So
exactly. So it's not like this event is taking place and the Knicks are going to be somewhere else in the world. No, like legit, we know the New York Knicks are going to be in town the day of Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
So we can get our hopes up. Like legit, if Brunson does not show up Saturday night's main event, it's going to be a huge letdown.
I'm going to boo.
Huge letdown. Like imagine if nobody shows up.
I'm going to go to a game outside and just boo Jalen Brunson if he doesn't show up to Saturday night's main event.
Like imagine if nobody really legit shows up for it.
That would make no sense. I'd feel embarrassed as a wrestling fan.
Right? That would be so if they're not able to secure Brunson or Cat. I mean, Cat's been betting on all of these cards.
I think the least would be like you have to have Jalen Brunson there. You have to.
I mean, is Cat going to be owning the El Grande Americano mask?
Yeah, he could be the one with the 40K bid.
like if they don't have anybody there, that's going to be such a letdown.
I mean, I have to assume they'll do a segment where they raise a banner for Danhausen and kayfabe. That would be the second
hilarious
kayfabe banner that they raise at Madison Square Garden.
That'd be crazy. What I thought was crazy is that the banner that they had up there for their coach, the coach with the most wins, is 613, and the day that they actually won Game 5 was 613. Yeah. I thought that was pretty interesting.
I also marked out big time. Also, by the way, John Cena was on The Tonight Show. That was his 16th time on The Tonight Show.
Really?
His next appearance, never seen 17. When it'll be, who knows. But I marked out, they showed off this week Mattel, an exclusive for San Diego Comic-Con, which is a huge mark-out moment. I feel like the past few years with San Diego Comic-Con, their WWE figure exclusives has been like,
Yeah.
Like the Macho Man, the Slim Jim Macho Man really set a precedent, and then the next year was like, oh, this is cool. The next year was like, oh, this is cool. And then it's like, you know. This year.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't collect figures anymore. If I did, I would really hope. I mean, even as a collector, I would hope to have this as a signed part of my collection. It's a 3-pack from Piper's Pit with Roddy Piper, Captain Lou Albano, who, by the way, I already think had one of the best Mattel figures of all time. And for the first time ever, Cyndi Lauper. And I think that's awesome. There's a video of her playing with the figure, which I popped at too. She's like, oh, and her legs bend? Okay, because they got to wrestle. I thought it was so funny, but it was really cool. And I mean, she 100%
for her being in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, she 100% deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Her name appeared
and talking about
in the files for WWE 2K26, so it's a shame that she was either cut. I don't know if they'll somehow maybe include her this year still. I don't know. Also, I mean, what the hell are you doing with Jalen Brunson? How do you not capitalize on that? You had him in 2K25.
Yeah.
How do you not put him back in? You put Tyrese Halliburton back in. I want Shaq and Jalen Brunson back in.
Put the champ back in.
But yeah, man, it's such an awesome figure that they're finally releasing a Cyndi Lauper figure. I really would love to have that signed. It's such a nice set.
It's a very cool figure, and it was Coach Red Holtzman. That's who I was thinking of with the 613. Just such a coincidence that it's 613. And then
just like the Chicago Blackhawks tweet from Jalen Brunson all those years ago.
Oh yeah. With it, that's wild. One game away. But yeah, so many coincidences with that. But
God,
yeah, that
Wemby
figure
was such a
incredible.
baby. I can't get over that, man.
He's got to learn.
I cannot get over that.
Got to learn. You know what? It's just crazy to He's got to learn. He needs a mentor that's going to mentor him. Like David Robinson and Tim Duncan need to mentor that kid. Like it's just crazy. He's such a kid. Like he's still such a kid. He really needs a veteran to mentor him on maturity and emotional maturity. He's only 22 years old. He's a kid. You know? I mean, think of it this way. And it's just mind-blowing. He's pretty much the same age as Cousin Drew.
I mean, nobody listening knows who Cousin Drew is.
No, not at all, but you do. But you do. And it's just put that into his perspective. He's still a kid, but he needs a mentor. Big time.
And that's also something else that like they spoke about with all these former Knicks who, I mean, they played incredible ball through their careers. They never got a ring with the Knicks, but here they are showing up for these younger talents and actually helping them out.
Patrick Ewing getting a ring finally. I'm so happy that Patrick Ewing finally got a ring.
Does he?
You know, I think Allen Houston's gonna get one. John Starks.
Do they work for the team though?
Yeah, they work for They actually do work for the Knicks, so they do get a ring.
You know,
because
I had
they're
no
employed
idea
by the
he
Knicks.
was
So
Jamaican.
I'm sorry.
I had no idea he was Jamaican.
Huh?
Did you know that?
Yeah. No, I didn't.
He's literally
didn't know
born
that.
in Kingston. I had no clue.
Oh, Ewing?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just know that. I just knew that he was one of the greats from Georgetown.
Yeah, he was born in Kingston, Jamaica.
Interesting.
Also,
well,
I feel like,
yeah.
I mean, Danhausen should probably get a ring.
You know what? It would be awesome if he does, but I don't think he will.
I mean, come on.
I honestly don't know. I don't think that any celebrity should get a ring.
Yeah, that's the thing. People are like, oh, Spike Lee should get one. Ben Stiller should get one.
No, I'm sorry. Just for being a fan?
Yeah,
no.
I don't know.
No.
They can get one of those replicas next season when they have replica ring night.
Exactly. No fan should be getting a ring. If you didn't play on the team, you shouldn't get a ring.
But the Danhausen reasoning, though, is, well, you could sign me for one day, then Danhausen gets a ring.
And then retire and go into the Hall of Fame once. It's hilarious, you know?
So, congratulations to the New York Knicks. The fans should have acted better after the game was won. If they were even fans.
Hey, I'm actually the fans for the most part behaved today.
If there's any sort of video going around of school buses getting lit up on fire and destroyed, cop cars getting destroyed, cops being fought, come on, brother, you're not making the Knicks look good there. Don't do that. Don't do any of that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Learn from your mistakes this year in case the New York Knicks make it back next year. Hopefully it's not another 53-year drought.
Yeah, hopefully the Mets could be next.
They had me watching basketball. I don't watch sports like this. I watched every single freaking game since Danhausen cursed the Cleveland Cavaliers. Why did I watch every single game?
Yeah.
And then, I mean, first of all, not why. I'm happy they won because then it would have been why the hell did I watch all these games? So,
yeah.
But it's been a great ride.
Yeah.
And that is episode 802 of Markin Out, Pro Wrestling Talk by Pro Wrestling Fans. Follow us on Twitter at Markin Out, at BTTG161 on all platforms. Chris Sweendog, CM Sweeney85, David PTDBT on all platforms. Facebook.com/Markin Out. YouTube and Instagram are Markin Out 11. ProWrestlingTees.com/Markin Out if you'd like to support us like that. At Markin Out on TikTok, go like and share and favorite all our videos there. You could rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, markinout.com, and we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. Have a fantastic week.